share with you guys my sourdough discard hamburger buns. We're making some French dips and French onion soup tonight. So what I've done is I've just let my yeast bloom. This is 20 grams of active yeast, 30 grams of sugar, 200 grams of sourdough discard, and 380 grams of warm filtered water. I'm gonna link the recipe, or I'm gonna attach the recipe card to the end of this video as well. Now that this has had about 15-20 minutes to bloom, we're gonna add 20 grams of salt, 55 grams of butter melted and cooled, 1 egg. It's kind of late in the night, but honestly, I just looked at all the bread in the store, even like the fresh baked stuff, and I'm like, way too many things are in this. I can't bring myself to buy bread at the store anymore. And then 830 grams of bread flour. This is super quick and easy. You don't have to wait for it to rise whatsoever. I have done that in the past when I've had a ton of things going on and they turn out beautiful, but I do not have any time tonight. And on the mixer this will go until a dough forms. Okay, now that we've got a nice dough formed, again, you can let it rise if you want more fluffy buns, but it is completely unnecessary. And to make the hoagie kind of shape, I just try to kind of make these into a little bit of a rectangle and pull and roll, kind of like you would if you know how to make crescent rolls. And that's how that looks. I made them a little bit too big last time, so I'm just trying a little bit smaller version than what I had done before. So I portioned out that pan, put some saran wrap on top of it, and now it is in my oven with the proof setting on, just to kind of rush them along to get a little bit of a rise, but it's kind of chilly and rainy here, so I just wanted them to get a little bit of extra heat. And that's how I do my burger buns. I just grab a chunk. You can measure these out to about 110 grams if you want to. I do them similar to when I'm making kolaches. I just kind of get all the dough pinched and tucked in here, and then you can use your workspace to just kind of smooth out the edges. And that's how those look. This dough is very easy to work with and to kind of shape however you desire. There's a little hamburger bun. Okay, so this is how our hamburger buns are looking. I'm gonna pull out the hoagie-ish shaped ones that are in the oven on the proof setting, just because it's getting late and I know my kids are getting hungry, so we'll just swap those out. They did get a little bit of extra fluff to them. And final step before we throw them in the oven, to brush them with a bit of melted butter. Now I'm going to do a little bit of an expansion score on each of these, just to kind of try to control the heat burst on the dough. We'll add some sesame seeds and just a sprinkle of some Celtic sea salt. These are going to go in the oven outside at 450 for 15 to 17 minutes, and I'll bring you back for that. So this is how our little hamburger size buns are looking. They had a little bit more time to go through the proofing process on that setting on my oven to kind of get a little more poofy before we put them in the oven. The hoagie rolls look amazing. I just wanted them to get a tad bit more brown, so I'm just gonna go swap these out here shortly, and I'll show you the final bake on those hoagie buns, because I'm sure my kids are starving at this point. And that is how our little hoagie buns are looking. I baked them for a couple extra minutes just because I like a more golden brown color. Gonna cook my roast beef in the French onion soup here and call it a meal. I'm gonna link this recipe here. Let me know if you guys try it.